Hello and welcome to Martin Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and we are here for the morning forecast. This is a show we do every morning, the same time, where we are looking to see if it's going to be a thundery day in the markets where everything is moving down, one of those red days we don't like to see, or is it going to be a calm day where potentially Bitcoin starts going sideways and it allows the altcoins to start going up, or are we going to get some better price action across the board where we start seeing all-time highs on all our assets? um, Especially the S&P 500 and Bitcoin. That might happen today, and let's hope they don't take it away from us. So thank you everyone for tuning in to this morning show, the morning forecast every morning, brought to you on Martin Lucas Investor. So Bitcoin yesterday, what a pump we got yesterday. Absolutely incredible from Bitcoin. We were up. It actually closed up 4.28%, closed above 110,000. I would say that is the second highest daily candle close, and it is the second highest daily candle close in the history of Bitcoin. So Bitcoin leading the charge, altcoins lagging behind. Some altcoins are catching bids today. We've got something like Uniswap catching the bids today, up 12%, making its highest price since March of 25. We've got Arweave. So Arve up since highest price since February of 25, up 10%. Maker, we've got some altcoins catching bids now, and here we go. Ethereum is breaking out. Confirmation. If this candle closes here tonight, you've got confirmation. Ethereum is now catching bids. This is good for the altcoins. When Ethereum starts going up, you know that the altcoins will follow suit. Ethereum's next target, if it holds these levels, is closer to 3,500. Dollars. So Ethereum is a key indication of what altcoins will do. Altcoins normally follow suit with Ethereum. It goes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, then the altcoins. But if Ethereum's pumping, you know some altcoins are also pumping, and Uniswap is really catching some bids now, up 12% on the day. We've got Filecoin coming back from those levels that we were talking about just a few days ago. A beautiful entry points for Filecoin at $2.30. Remember, nothing I say in this video is financial advice. This is just my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not trade based on anything I say. Do your own research. And we've got XRP lagging behind. Where is XRP on the watch list? It's actually down on the day. Trying to, we did actually get a breakout confirmation on XRP yesterday. We got a close above $2.30. It looks like today is a back test of that resistance, turning it into support. This could be the confirmation we're looking for XRP to head back up to $2.62. So all eyes on XRP as well, with the news of the ETF coming next week, potentially the SEC roundtable coming to a finish yesterday, and some remarks from the SEC chair as well. Some closing remarks we'll get into. We also had the news of XRP's price being added to NASDAQ as well, in that same group as Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is the bullish momentum helping this trade unfold. So Bitcoin, we could get all-time highs today on Bitcoin. I mean, we're really not far at all. If that China deal comes to an end, the talks are resuming in London today. If that comes to an end and we get a deal with China, and we can see all-time highs on Bitcoin. $115,000 is the first major target. First target. The next major target is $125,000 on Bitcoin. So let's start getting prepared for that. XRP backtesting $2.30, looking bullish. ZBCN, again, as I've told you before, I can't be sort of more clear. I bought around 0.0018 live on the show. I told you live on the show that I'm selling my initial position here. Yes, I've been buying back into ZBCN, but ZBCN, in my opinion, won't pump until we've got the Bitcoin pump. Maybe 115,000, and then the altcoins start moving again. Then ZBCN can catch some bids. But I've said many times, if you're investing in ZBCN, be prepared for the downside. Be prepared for 0.0028 as well. Be prepared for the upside, downside, and sideways action. if you've made a mistake with the ZBCN position, if you've been buying at the top, when I said I definitely wouldn't be buying at the top, make sure you learn from your mistakes and understand where you went wrong, so you can trade better in the future. But ZBCN is one of those altcoins that has a low market cap, that has good utility underlying, and I think will perform well in the future as well. After that parabolic move to the upside, I said to you, if the parabolic trend ends, get ready for a downtrend. But this can turn into support holding. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure we've now broken that upwards trending support. Let's see if we can hold these wicks down here at 0.004. We'll keep an eye on ZBCN, but that's not the main story. ZBCN isn't the main part of most people's portfolios. ZBCN is a small cap, risky altcoin that people invest in, not as their main position anyway. That's what I've been saying. So we will keep an eye on ZBCN because I still think it's one of those ones that has great potential. But once Bitcoin starts moving, all eyes go back onto the quality, which is Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and some of the larger altcoins as well. XLM is something I want to have a look at because XLM is obviously also part of that new NASDAQ pile, and also is one that follows suit with XRP. And I've said many times, at 26 cents, XLM, it looked good. Yes, it dropped below to 25 cents, but 26 cents, it looks like XLM is ready for its pump as well, potentially back up to 41 cents. So all eyes on XLM as well, with this pump occurring. Bitcoin will lead the way. That liquidity will flow into altcoins. I'd like to see Bitcoin hit all-time highs before we start getting really excited on the altcoins as well. In the broader markets, we've got, let's have a look at the main indexes. We've got Ethereum up 3%. FTSE 100 all-time highs, I think. Is it all-time highs? Well, no, it's about one. How far away from all-time highs is the FTSE? 0.35% away from all-time highs, outperforming the US markets once again, and that shift we've seen from US to Europe. FTSE is 0.3% away from all-time highs. Gold is up today. We've got oil up slightly today. Again, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq is flat. Again, another flat. It might be another flat open for the S&P and the Nasdaq, the US markets, until we get that news about the deal. It could be very flat for the S&P. The S&P is also not too far away from its all-time highs, much more than the FTSE, but yeah, 2.3% away from its all-time highs. Again, that can accelerate to the upside once we've got news of that deal with China. Bonds are pretty flat as well. Let's go and see if there's anything else notably moving. The total cryptocurrency market cap is definitely moving to the upside today as well after yesterday's Bitcoin pump. Let's have a look at this on a larger time frame. Looking at that's total 3. We want total, yeah, the cryptocurrency total market cap. Yeah, it came in for a retest of previous all-time highs from 2021, the previous highs from March 2024, and now the total cryptocurrency market cap is not too far away from all-time highs either. It is about 10% away from all-time highs for the total cryptocurrency market cap. So everything is looking good this morning. Everything is ready for all-time highs that we're looking at, especially the larger coins. Ethereum is really pumping towards the upside now as well. So it looks like it's shaping up to be a good day. Let's welcome everyone into the show. If you have just tuned in, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Let's see if we can get up to 100 likes straight away. Who's with us in the show? We've got Stevie Zebeck. Hello, Sensei and fam. Good morning to you. Motto team, good morning. About to get my Buffett mug nice and hot, looking at the morning forecast, ready to show my wife a full bank account. There we go, Motto team. Remember, the times where we all start showing each other our portfolios is the times we wish we took profits. So keep that in mind, Motto. I can't believe ZBCN broke past the 0.0042. It was putting up a good fight. Yeah, it was, and it's still got those wicks it can hold on to, but the market is focused on the leaders at the moment, not risky bets. Hi all, hey there, Mike. It can still recover, who knows? XO went on a huge run last night, and so did XDC. Thank you, Stevie. ZBCN dead then? I wouldn't say it's dead. I would say this is what we expected. Definitely not dead. Look, it's a healthy correction. Invest in a project, not the price, said Stevie. There we go. Zebeck and Ripple under talks of some sort of partnership. Yeah, we've been looking into that. Still no news come out of that, which is we were expecting it to come in the next. I'm hoping to get that news come out in the next week or so. Oops. ETH double top on the 4 hour. ETH double top on the 4 hour. Let's have a look. Don't think so, but we'll have a look. No, I don't think so. We're looking at the 4 hour chart right now. I don't see much of a double top. Yes, there's a lot of resistance around these areas. We'll see if we, that's what I'm saying, if we hold these levels, breach this resistance level, hold it, and that's when we get past all of this resistance, which it seems to be doing right now. If Bitcoin reaches 115,000 into next week and XRP case gets dropped, an ETF, good lord, it'll be a bounce into a tornado. There is so much that can happen next week, and people are starting to realize XRP ETF decision time for Franklin Templeton next week. We've got the SEC case that's due to drop any day now. It's basically finished. They just need to get the right. They're both agreeing, the SEC and Ripple. It's just now they need to present it in a nice way to Judge Torres, because they've wasted her time for years, and the taxpayers' money. So that can come to a drop. We've got ETF, the SEC news. XRP just got added to that NASDAQ group for cryptos. We've got that underlying news of XRP that we've been covering the last few weeks as well. What else did you say? Yeah, I mean, and if Bitcoin really leads I mean, this is the perfect scenario. Remember how many times I've said, if there's good news from XRP, but the markets and Bitcoin is not in a hype phase, or if it's going sideways or even worse, down, then the XRP news will be irrelevant. It will pop for one day and go back down, just like we saw in the SEC when Ripple won the case against the SEC a couple of years ago, or a year ago, when it came out and they said that XRP is not a security. We saw one day where it went up 100% and then it went back to lows, lower, even made a lower low the next day, lower than before the news came out. So that's because the broader market wasn't in a good way. If we're making all-time highs on the S&P 500, if Bitcoin's going up to 115,000, if Ethereum is breaking out, and then we get ETF news, case drop, then that is the perfect storm for XRP to make new all-time highs. And that's what we're hoping for, but it does require a few things to go right. Let's hope the US and China can come to a mutual agreement. Yes, let's hope so. You got an aim for Bitcoin before coin season? I think altcoin season comes in drips and drabs. We'll take it one step at a time, but yeah, 125,000 next before we get a little altcoin season. Maybe 150, 200,000 is the higher targets. 200,000 is maybe when we get the main altcoin season. I'm here just not talking. Hello, Stacy. Thank you for being here with us. Yes, Sensei. Hello, the fan. Morning, Sensei. Martin and the Luca says, let's go XRP. Okay, we're going to get into the news of the day and talk a bit more about what's moving. But before we do, you know the drill. We're going to get the likes up to 100. Jerry, we haven't talked about silver yet. Everyone, hit the like button. Let's put the music on. And once you've hit the like button, come over here and hit the like button here as well. Let's do it.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Like a phoenix, you burst in.
to 100 likes. We are going to get into the news of today. We are at 71 likes. Let's see if we can get to 100 and let's get ready for a green day on the markets. It's looking good.
Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn, a thirst and desire. You transform it up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire, burn, a thirst and desire. You transform it up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes.
20 more likes. Where is everyone? Is everyone sleepy this morning? 20 more likes. There's 190 people watching. We can do it. Who's not liked it yet? Thank you everyone for participating in that. Let's have a look at your comments and let's get back into the charts and the news of today. Did we talk about silver yet? No, we haven't. Let's have a quick look at silver. How is it doing? Is it still breaking out? I would imagine so. The technicals are looking good. And there we go. It's actually flat on the day, but that was on a 3-day candle. I got a bit excited, but it's looking strong, isn't it? We're heading straight to that $37 ounce target for silver. So let's see how that does. It might correct after, come back down to $35. But long term, again, I'm bullish on silver. Long term, I think silver might have its peaks. It might pump up to $50, $100, come back down a little bit, but it's severely underperforming gold, and I think silver has some catching up to do. So I think this is nothing in the long term view of silver at all. Swinging back up, positive on Market Cipher. Thank you, Motto team. I haven't looked at Market Cipher for years. That's something in 2020 I'd look at. I like to keep things much more simple now. Zebeck and Ripple, yeah, we've read this. Yes. Hey Zach8, hey Sensei, do you have heard of Daxi Coin? No, I haven't. Phoenix Song, yes. May all our bags be transcended. May all of our bags transcend space and time, says Motto 18. Zach8's in the chat. If XRP hits $10, I'm getting a flying machine. What do you mean? A Nevtol? A flying car? A flying... what do you mean? I'll be Phoenix. Space 2 days in a row on the newsletter for best gain. Zach8's been reading the newsletter. Has everyone read their newsletter this morning? Has everyone got it this morning? Yes, Zach, what a good eye you have. Yes, SBC has been in the top gainers for the newsletter 2 days in a row, which is incredible. Just showing you that the underlying growth is there for SBC. It's just quietly going up now. Today as well, it's up on the day in the pre-market. Soon to be there on the moon. 2 hour flow looking good. Smash phones response. Smash responsibly. Phone screens are expensive. Yes, sorry. Just as Martyn says, tap the like button. Sorry, was daydreaming. If anyone else was daydreaming, make sure you've hit that like button gently. What are your thoughts on Flare? I'm very bullish on Flare. I think again it's in the same boat as maybe Zebeck, something like that, where it will have its time, but it will underperform until maybe the proper altcoin season, and that's when you'll see massive gains on it, in my opinion. Again, it's one of those tokens I have in a basket because we never know which one is really going to pump, but it does have a good shot at it. Ever looked into Solaxi? No, I haven't, Mike. Flare equals good, says Motto 18. Okay. Let's go into the newsletter for this morning and give you some of the things that we're looking at. So the one big thing, if you haven't signed up to newsletter yet, I don't know what you're doing. There is a lot of free content. The most valuable information is behind a paywall, and that's why this link gives you a 7-day free trial. Try it out. You won't need any other news publication, in my opinion. Because this covers everything, top news stories, the moves of the day, what's happening in the markets, the deep dives, the top movers, what to look out for, the economic radar, the chart of the day. It has everything. So starting with the one big thing, all eyes are on tomorrow's US Consumer Price Index report. That's why the S&P might be going sideways. Until we get that report come out tomorrow. The final inflation print before next week's Fed decision. So economists expect the headline CPI to rise 0.2% month over month and 2.5% year over year, up from 2.3% in April. Core CPI, which excludes food and energy, is forecasted to rise 0.3% month on month and 2.9% year on year, reflecting persistent underlying inflation that can keep policymakers cautious. So all eyes on that. Less about the numbers, unless there's any major surprises. More about how Fed Jerome Powell is going to speak. We'll be covering that live on the show. Money move of the day. Inflation affects everything from saving yields to mortgage rates. So understanding how your portfolio responds is key. Many investors use a mix of Treasury inflation-protected securities, gold, or dividend-paying stocks to help mitigate inflation risk while staying invested. That's a little tip every day you get about sort of investing tips, financial coaching tips related to what's going on in the day, and that's one way to mitigate the inflation effects because inflation is here and it's sticky. Market snapshot, you can see after yesterday's pump, everything is pretty much sideways on the day. FTSE is the top leader there as well, gold up slightly. Got the link for the show. So the 5 things you need to know. I'm not going to go through every news story because I want to get into your comments and suggestions, but we talk about Circle's IPO. And everything to do with that. So do read that. The eToro again, their IPO and how that's gone. The UK FCA and Nvidia launch a sandbox for financial firms. Let's look into this. So the the Britain's Financial Conduct Authority has partnered with Nvidia. Remember, Jensen Wong was talking to Keir Starmer yesterday in their FinTech week or their AI week that they're doing here in the UK. And they had a little. They announced something. So the British Financial Conduct Authority has partnered with Nvidia to launch a supercharged sandbox, giving banks and fintechs access to Nvidia's accelerated computing and AI tools for regulatory for regulatory compliance experimentation. The sandbox opens in October with immediate applications for early stage AI projects and offers enhanced data sets, technical guidance, and regulatory support. The program follows the UK's government's 1 billion AI research computes pledge by 2030 and Nvidia's commitment to train 100,000 workers and establish an AI technology center. Nvidia reported 44 billion in quarterly revenue, underscoring rapid AI demand. The initiative aims to lower barriers for financial firms facing legacy tech and compliance hurdles while positioning the UK as a global AI hub. Investors should note that competitive landscapes as nations race to scale AI infrastructure and regulatory frameworks with implications for fintech innovation and sector leadership. And there it is, the UK FCA Nvidia launched an AI sandbox for financial firms. One thing I wanted to bring to your attention. We've got Bitcoin surging past 110,000. I explained to you the reasons there. We've got the SEC signaling DeFi regulatory shift. So the SEC's final roundtable was yesterday. And this is what we're looking at. Just reading the comments. You were the number one. I saw it. I don't know. We're talking about I think the rankings on the YouTube comments. Anyway, the next story. the SEC signals a DeFi regulatory shift. So the SEC fifth and final crypto roundtable for 2025, DeFi and the American Spirit, was held on the 9th of June at the SEC headquarters in Washington, D.C., with Chair Paul Atkins and all commissioners present. The event focused on smart contracts, token governance, investor protection, and regulatory challenges for DeFi platforms. Atkins announced a directive for staff to explore exemptions or new guidance, marking a shift from enforcement towards innovation and support for self-custody. You've got a video here in the newsletter as well.
Another core feature of blockchain technology is the ability of individuals to have self-custody of crypto assets in a personal digital wallet. The right to have self-custody of one's private property is a foundational American value that should not disappear when one logs onto the internet. I'm in favor of affording greater flexibility to market participants to self-custody crypto assets, especially where intermediation imposes unnecessary transaction costs or restricts the ability to engage in staking and other on-chain activities.
You can see the shift in tone between Gary Gensler and Paul Atkins. Paul Atkins seems to be very pro-crypto, more than maybe I was expecting. So that's, again, another reason I think we're getting higher likelihoods that this XRP ETF will come to us this. Would I say it will come next week? I don't know. Maybe there's a 30% chance it will come to us next week. We know that they delay things. Even if they're pro-crypto, they need to get it right. But I do think it's coming this half of the year, just like Brad Garlinghouse said earlier this year. I think we'll get it in the next month or two, if it's not next week. But there is a significant chance we get it next week with the way that the SEC has now been talking about crypto. So this was a conclusion of the broader roundtable series that included sessions of trading regulations, custody, and tokenization earlier in the year. Both Atkins and Commissioner Pierce emphasised that developers should not be held liable for how code is used, with Pierce warning that over-regulation could infringe on First Amendment rights. The new stance suggests a more innovation-friendly SEC posture that could boost DeFi adoption while raising new questions around investor protections and oversights. That is a big story. That is the end of the crypto roundtable, and all I can say from that is everything's looking very bullish on the crypto side of things, especially with the previous regulation by enforcement, and now that is shifting. So the deeper dive story today is the UK-China talks, rare earths, tech, and centre of the global chessboard. And we've got the talks continuing today, and we're waiting to see what the result is. There is more information that you need to know, so please go and read that part as well. The top gainers, this is what Zach Zay was talking about. SBC is in the top gainers again. We've got Vertical Aerospace up 2.6% pre-market, Tesla rebounding from last week, SBC continuing its bullish momentum up 2.5% pre-market. We've got a lot coming up this week. So today we've got unemployment rates for the UK, which has come out, and I think it was pretty. The unemployment rate was pretty high. We will have a look into that later once I've got more of the figures to show you. Tomorrow is the big day, CPI day tomorrow. Massive CPI date, CPI data tomorrow. It is going to be a big day. 8 a.m. Eastern time. We'll get the figures. And that's when the markets will move fast, ready for next week's FOMC meeting. That is a day out of date. I apologize. It's actually 8 days now. So the US Price Consumer Index, most important macro release of the week. First look at tariff impact on inflation with potential to move all asset classes. So we'll start seeing, is the tariffs going to have an effect on inflation? And this will have a good indication. We've got the earnings of Oracle after close as well tomorrow. I think we've got GME earnings today. GME earnings today. If anyone wants us to cover that, you can do a $5 super chat. I think either me or Martyn can cover that. I think it's today. Let's have a look. They have been adding to their Bitcoin positions. This stock moves fast. After market on Tuesday, yeah, it's today. GME earnings is today. If anyone is interested in that, that is normally a very volatile, fun one, to be honest. Again, we'll see if anyone wants to cover that. If anyone wants us to cover that. Thursday we've got the PPI, initial jobless claims, and sort of the Tesla robotaxi launch. This hasn't been in the news much, but we are anticipating that the Tesla's robotaxis start operating in small numbers across Texas or near their factories. So highly anticipated event that could drive volatility in Tesla and the broader EV space. So what's going to happen? Is there going to be a disaster? Is it going to crash on day one? Is it even going to come today? Um, it's either going to come on Thursday or they're going to delay it. So keep an eye out for the Tesla robotaxi launch. It's sort of rumored to be on Thursday, but we'll keep an eye on that. So this week is packed with critical inflation data, central to the Fed's policy, and rate expectations. Apple's WWDC, which was yesterday, and Tesla's robotaxi launch are potential tech catalysts. UK jobs, eurozone production, and US consumer sentiment round out a week where macro tech and policy headlines will drive market direction. We've got the Bitcoin chart as the chart of the day as well. So that is the newsletter. I'll give you the link to it if you haven't got it yet. There is an annual plan, monthly plan, or a free plan. Please consider. Oh, I don't need to do that. What's going on? Please consider signing up to the newsletter, and that's the link in the chat. If you're watching this later on, it's the first link in the description. Okay, so let's go back to your comments. I don't want to go through all the news today because I want to leave you guys something to read outside of this time. What I am going to look at is some of these moves. Uniswap is really catching bids now, up 17%. That is incredible. What's it been doing in the 5 minute? Uniswap, yeah, it's just look at that. Look at those 5 minute candles on Uniswap. Up. It was up 12% in 25 minutes. I mean, that's there we go. That's a glimpse of what altcoin season can look like. And throughout the time where Bitcoin pumps and Ethereum pumps, you'll get random cryptocurrencies that pump as well. But the altcoin season is when they all pump very fast, very quickly. If you haven't experienced one before, Link is up 5% as well. Ethereum. It's all about Ethereum breaking this major resistance level. If it holds above these levels, we can see Ethereum really start ramping up 3,500, 4,000, and basically all-time highs. Remember, Ethereum is very far away from its all-time highs of $5,000 currently, but it can close the gap very, very quickly. I mean, if you take it as an example, last time it broke this $2,500 barrier in a month, it went up 55%. So Ethereum can also move fast, and it can move up to its all-time highs and catch everyone off guard. Let's have another look at Bitcoin. What's that doing? It's cooling off. Bitcoin pumps, then the money flows into altcoins. But I do want to see Bitcoin have some more strength. That was the issue last time round. We topped out. We didn't have enough strength. Then we went into a downtrend. We want to see us hit targets of 115,000, and in fact, instead of stalling out those levels, really start pushing up to the next levels of $125,000 to 130,000. That's when we start saying the bull market is completely intact, higher highs, and we can start really seeing a big move to the upside. For altcoins and Bitcoin, XRP is trying to retest that $2.30 level, still above it, barely, but still above it, and it's coming in for a retest. Let's see if it holds it and closes above it. That could be a bullish retest that takes us up to $2.62. Zebeck is not the star of the show at the moment. Zebeck is people are going into their normal coins, their normal favorites, the big market leaders at the moment, and moving away from the really high risk coins like Zebeck. But I'm sure Zebeck will have its time as well. The whales sold, the whales are getting scared, people are FOMOing out, people are panic selling out and driving the price down. And that's why I've always said be prepared for 0.0028 as well for Zebeck if these levels are lost, which is very close to losing on ZBCN. Let's see the market movers on the stock market. Let's see if anything's changed since we did the. Oh, SBC is up even more. SBC again, I was around that $3 range. I said is a very nice, interesting place to be buying SBC, and it's now making the highs of its days around $3.61, so it's looking good. Circle is up this morning again. Remember when we were live yesterday morning and I said it's $140, I definitely wouldn't be buying. Now it's $120. Tesla is gaining. I'll come to your comments in a section. In a second. Let me have a look. Nothing else. Okay, let's have a look at your comments. What are your thoughts on all of this? Have a great day, everyone. God bless. Thank you, moderator team. What about the Judge Torres story? She is the gatekeeper at the moment. Well, it's all the SEC's fault. They started this whole thing, and they've been annoying the judge, and the judge is saying, "Well, you can't just end a case that quickly once you've wasted years of my time and years of taxpayers' money." So they have to do it properly. I think it will come in the next couple of weeks, in my opinion. I'm suspicious of this crypto regulatory switch. It looks like money harvest. Yeah, I mean, always be suspicious of everything. But I guess what's sort of important to retail investors is what's happening on the surface, and on the surface, the regulations are definitely on our side. It could become a money harvest. ETH is looking good. Yes, ETH is looking good. Sensei, on the price of the newsletter, why does the founding member cost more than the other annual rates? It looks like it's the same. Do you get more info out of the founding member one? So the founding members, David Hensley, is very much the ones that want to support the work more. There will be perks and benefits to the founding members as well. They get priority replies, all that sort of stuff. But it's more just to be a founding member of the newsletter, and supports the publication more. I think we've got one founding member, and we obviously I take that into account when he messages me and we talk more. Sound same as, but yeah, the annual plan gives you all the same newsletter. You get the full newsletter. There is no sort of gatekeeping on the founding stuff. Same as HBAR. Same as HBAR. Oh, it's Ethereum. Is that what you're saying? ETH is looking good, so is HBAR. Let's have a look at HBAR for you. HBAR USD. Yeah, HBAR is moving up. Let's get a look at it on the daily time frame or the 3-day time frame. Yeah. Again, once it gets back above the 19 cents level, it can move fast, probably back up to 40 cents as well. So HBAR is moving towards the upside as well. Zebeck pump and dump, just like XRP. I wouldn't say XRP pumps and dumps. I mean, Zebeck is a much smaller currency, about 100 times 100. I think. What's Yeah, I think it's 100 times smaller. So they will definitely have more pumps and dumps. Zebeck. I never thought Zebeck is even close to XRP. Lol. Just got to have patience. XRP is going to blow your mind. Sky's the limit. Yeah, you can't. You can. I wouldn't put them in the same category. I would compare them in terms of how ZBCN made. The reason I got attracted to it was how it was similar to XRP in the early days, but there's a lot to. You can't really compare them like for like at all. They're in different leagues. One's in the Mag 6 and one's in the Russell 2000, basically. I'm a founding member, lol. Not on the newsletter, you're not, Mike, but you are definitely a founding member on the YouTube. We love it. Thank you, Mike, for your comment. Calculator out today said that it will take 50,000 years to burn 50%. Calculator out today, it said it will take 50,000 years to burn 50% based on current burn rate. For what? What token are we talking about, T2? T2, what token are you talking about? Good morning, good stuff, thank you. T2, what token are you talking about? 50,000 years for 50% burn rate. How is Circle? Circle is in that first week of IPO phase where everything's volatile and it's trying to find its price. In my opinion, it's overvalued, but it is a great step for the crypto markets. I'll bring you the news from the newsletter, actually. So Circle, the issue of USDC, the world's second largest stablecoin, made a powerful entrance on the New York Stock Exchange on June the 5th. Shares priced at $31 opened well above expectations, raising $1.1 billion through the sale of 34 million shares and valuing the company at $6.9 billion, fully diluted around $8.1 billion. Circle's USDC pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar and backed by cash and short-term treasuries, now commands a $61.5 billion market cap and has processed over 25 trillion in transactions since 2018. Remember, Circle is the one that issues USDC, and the USDC's market cap is 61 billion, not Circle's market cap. The company's revenue projected at 1.7 billion for 2024 is driven almost entirely by interest earned on its reserve assets. Why it matters: Circle's blockchain IPO signals Wall Street's growing confidence in regulated digital assets and cements stablecoins as investable, scalable financial products. As Circle's New York Stock Exchange listing attracts blue chip underwriters and institutional investors, it sets new benchmark for crypto industry legitimacy, but exposes the company to heightened regulatory scrutiny and intensifying competition, especially as rivals and policymakers move to shape the future of digital finance. We're not in the clear yet with Circle. We don't know if USDC is going to be the dominant one. We are quite early in the stablecoins. It's certainly it's the second largest at the moment after USDT, probably the most useful right now. At the moment, USDT is a bit sketchy. USDC is available everywhere and pretty useful. But in terms of price action, I wouldn't be buying it. That's my thoughts and opinions only. I mean, yesterday we were looking at $140 and people were saying, should we buy? And we were saying no. And now it's at 115. It needs to find its levels. Normally with IPOs, you might see a surge, a downside, a capitulation low, and then continuing. So maybe in like the next bear market, or when there's bad news comes out that Circle and it goes back below $60, that's where it might get interesting. If you're a long-term holder, then Circle, you might start nibbling at it now. But look at the price action. We don't really have much to go off at the moment. We do have the market cap of 23 billion to go off, which is, if you think about eToro, a fully fledged sort of a stock and crypto company, that's at 8 billion. If you're looking at Coinbase, which is again a massive company now, that's about 60 billion. So it's valued between those two, and I think that's where it should be valued. But we will continue to have a look at it as the weeks go on. But that's not financial advice. Do your own research as well. I'll become a founding member next paycheck. The newsletters you do every morning are insanely awesome, very informative. Getting the information from you and Martyn and Vaz makes it well worth it. David Hensley, that is so kind of you to say. Thank you so much. And David, it's only going to get better. Every day I'm trying to make it better. It gets better, maybe it's slightly worse, then it gets better because I'm trying to experiment making it something. I genuinely want it to be the best newsletter in the world, not just that supporters of mine or supporters of the channel want to be part of, but one that all investors around the world will say this is a newsletter we want. And it's already, I mean, what you get in the newsletter is already, and I really appreciate you saying it, because a lot of effort does go into the newsletter. I mean, when you look at it, you've got if you just want to read it on the go, if you want to skim through it, everything's there for you. You've got the one big thing, the one thing that you want to keep your eye on, a little investing tip as well, straight there. You've got the market snapshot. You just want to see what's going on in the markets with our favorite assets. You've got the link to the show. You've got the 5 things you need to know, very tangible things. You've got what the main stories are in the finance crypto world. Circle, eToro, the main stories, you've got them all. And I'm trying to integrate more videos and stuff so you don't have to really look anywhere else. You've got the deep dive of the story that I think matters most. You've got the top gainers, why they're moving, why they're down, so you can get a quick snapshot. You've got on the radar, what is happening this week, what is happening on the day, and you've got the chart of the day. And I will be spending more and more time on it and refining the process more and more every morning. So that's the morning one, and then you get the Saturday one from Vaz, and in between you might get some more from Vaz as well, where you've got exactly what's going on in the EVTOL space, beautifully laid out. You've got everything you need to know about the EVTOL space, what the news is around that. You've got the deeper dives as well, whether it's the carry trade, the NVIDIA earnings, the ZBCN deep dives, hours and hours of research going into it. So I'm glad you like it. Do let me know if you have any feedback at all as well. I just want to make it the best product ever. And if anyone hasn't signed up yet, you can sign up with this link over here. But that's great. I'll become a founding member next paycheck. Thank you, David. That is that's very kind. The newsletter you do every morning are insanely awesome, very informative. Getting all the information from you, Martyn, and Baz makes it well worth it. Thank you, David. Hi, Sensei. I saw a Dogeon Mars coin. Dogeon Mars. I think that was from 2020. I think I've got some Dogeon Mars. Once upon a time, it was valued at 1,000 or 500, and now it's valued at like £2. Um, I saw Dogeon Mars coin. What do you think about this coin? And do you see it can, if you can bring up the chart? We'll bring up the chart, but it's probably a dead meme coin that probably won't come back. You might clip that in 20 years' time and say it's the most valuable meme coin. Doge, it's Elon coin, isn't it? Elon USD. Dogeon Mars USD. There it is. Elon USD. Yeah, I bought on crypto.com. Here we go. Let's have a blast from the past. Elon USD, Dogeon. How much have I lost on this token? I've probably bought it at those 85%, not terrible. At least it's not 100%. Does this have a place? Well, it's just another meme coin. It might have the hype might have died down. It's still listed on some major exchanges, though. Some people might buy it. You are at all-time lows on it. So previous use have seen big spikes. So even though it's a meme coin, it doesn't mean you can't make money every time it hits this level. That last time it went up 200%. The time before it went up about 300%. You're back at these levels. You might have another opportunity. It's a meme coin. It's a high-risk token. It has no utility. It's for a bit of fun. And if you like a bit of fun, there it is. It's good to see that it's holding these levels. So maybe it's not a scam token, maybe it is. But in an altcoin season, stuff like this will attract new investors because it looks like you can have millions and millions of coins for a small amount and everyone starts looking at a dollar. And this is much worse than ZBCN. I mean, in terms of how many zeros it has. ZBCN, you can actually see a path to a dollar. But if people start saying a dollar for Dogeon Mars, and retail investors will start saying that, it's impossible. I mean, look how many zeros there is. But people will start thinking like that, and they'll continue buying it, and they'll think they'll become billionaires overnight, and that's when you get out. So might have a place in the portfolio, but it has no utility, and it's not something that you can be comfortable holding forever. And it's not going to change the world. Good day. How do you feel about ZBCN? I feel fine. Took my initial profits out, bought some more recently. I've always said it's a risky token. It might go down, it might go up. Bitcoin's outperforming the market, and it's expected that ZBCN comes out. A couple weeks ago, a week ago, I told you those levels that I thought ZBCN might be topping out for now. It's a token, whether it does well, bad, or anything, it won't affect my life. I do think it's got potential there. To hit some targets like maybe 1 cent, 5 cents this cycle. I've always given you my predictions, and potentially 50 cents, $1 next cycle if everything goes well for ZBCN. But I feel fine with my investment. I'm still holding, and it's a small part of my portfolio. Vaz and Martyn are super great. Sensei is kind of mediocre. Okay, thank you, Billy J. I'm kidding, lol. Thanks, all three, for the consistent flow of great information. Supply burn. I was referring to XRP. Yeah, exactly. That's perfect. I mean, you don't want. I thought you were referring to XRP. 50,000 years, perfect, because you do not want the supply of XRP to be burnt that fast. It's just there to avoid hackers and spam on the chain. So a little bit of XRP gets burnt. I think to date, maybe 50 million XRP has been burnt throughout the last 10 years or something. So it's a very small amount, and that's not what appeals about XRP. It's not the burn rate, and it's actually good that it doesn't have a high burn rate. Otherwise, you don't really want to run out of XRP, or you don't really want a very high price for XRP when you're doing millions of transactions a day. I feel like at the end of the day, oh, I've got Martyn's show coming up in 4 minutes. Let me make sure we're all linked to that. Stay with us. We've got Martyn going live in about 4 or 5 minutes' time. Let me see if we've got. Nope. I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to be one of the cryptos that have real utility value. That's going to be one of the ones that will do massive gains, like most meme coins ones fall off. Thoughts? JJ April, what are you talking about? Which token? XRP. JJ Abel, if you can confirm what was that? I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to be one of those cryptos that have real utility value. That's going to be one of the ones that will do massive gains, like most meme coins fall off. Thoughts? If you talk about XRP, I completely agree. I agree, Sensei. I'd put your newsletter up with any other professional company out there. For anyone else, please read his newsletter. It's seriously very, very informative. David Hensley, that is very kind. Those words mean a lot more than anything. So yeah, because a lot of effort goes into it, and I never really hear the feedback from the other side. I know we do get some feedback within the forums we have there, and I get some messages, but to hear it is very nice. Um, I'll put your newsletter up with any other professional company out there. For anyone else, please read. Wow, that means a lot. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it the best newsletter. So there's no need to look anywhere else. What do you think of FET? I was been in them for a few years. Really like them. FET. FET USD. I've heard of it. Oh yeah, FET AI. Haven't got much thoughts. I wouldn't have been buying it at $3.40 at these levels. It looks a lot more realistic for a move up. What's the other one? AIOZ USD. Yeah, the charts don't look terrible. I mean, this one looks a bit worse, but Fetch AI looks like it's one that can do well. And this, I don't know anything about the fundamentals in all honesty, so I'm just looking at the chart here. Yeah, you can definitely have another run up to over $1. Again, altcoin season doesn't really matter what you pick; they'll go up. That's the beauty of it. You don't even have to be that smart. You just pick it and they go up. Are you loading up on at the Golden Pocket? Thank you, Sensei. No offense to Martyn, but Sensei is the crypto expert, more utility. I don't think Martyn would take any offense in that. That's why we've got different people who do different things. You don't want me to talking about the fundamentals of EVTOLs. So what would drive the price up higher? I assume it would just be speculation. T2, what would drive the price higher for? So, oh, you're talking about the fact that the burns on XRP aren't there to drive the price higher. What will drive the price higher is more financial institutions using it. Acquisitions like Hidden Road, where now they're going to be on the XRP ledger. Tokenization, like what we saw in Dubai, where real estate's going to come on chain on the XRP ledger. The more use of the XRP ledger, the more that's going to be transacted within XRP. The bridge, the fact that it's a bridge currency, the fact that ROUSD will be now running on the XRP ledger, the fact that there might be an ETF and people will want to be investing in this token. It's going to be part of the top 6 cryptocurrencies that are going to be in the digital asset reserve. The fact that that we've got the SEC case coming to a close and it's the only cryptocurrency that's been labeled as not a security. There's so many catalysts for XRP, and the fact that it's solving the most real problem out there, one of the most real problems, and it's actually made headways. It's been doing this for over 10 years. Even before XRP was even made, they were doing this. They were starting on this technology, and yeah, I mean, if you look at Swift, that's what it's trying to take over, and more, in my opinion. I think it's much more powerful than just a payments platform. So all of those fundamentals will drive it higher, and of course, speculation as well. In a crypto bull run, when everyone starts getting FOMO, people are going to start buying in and push the price up, just like ZBCN's price got pushed up. Was that all based on utility? Well, there's that underlying utility, but when you get a price action like that, 50% days, 30% days, that's also a lot of FOMO coming into the token. People don't want to miss out, and then that drives the price higher. So it's a mix of all. XRP and Quant are absolutely going to rip in the short term and long term. Their utility is second to none, especially once mass adoption kicks in. I 100% agree, says MDL. Jay Harris, that statement is pure speculation. Of course, that's all we do. We dubiously speculate on the channel. No one has a crystal ball and says it's 100% going to is 100% going to go up then and there. But we are all confident in XRP's. Again, quantum critical technology, but I can speak on behalf of XRP. Speak on behalf of X. I can speak about XRP, and I'd say when XRP moves, it moves fast, and the utility is great. And I think when it moves, we've previously seen it with XRP, it will move fast. I mean, if I just show you the XRP chart and we look at previous bull cycles or just times where it moved, I mean, just look at that move up there. That is when the money starts flowing. 525% moves in 21 days. You look at 2017, you got 1,500% moves in 7 days. So when it moves, it will move fast. So we will keep an eye out for that. It's absolutely crazy that what Quant is doing, especially with what they're launching layer 2.5 over Ledger. They are to crypto what Microsoft was to the internet and the computing age. I need to look more into Quant then, by the sounds of things. XRP is the main rail alongside XLM and all other tokens. We've got Martyn's show starting in a couple minutes, so I'm keeping an eye out for that. Let me make sure I haven't got any. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we've got that starting in probably about a minute and a half. So I'm going to keep these keep speak to you guys until that happens. Sorry, where were we? XRP is the main railroad alongside XLM and other tokens that build on top. Quant are massive in the space. T2 to you maybe, I believe in my convictions 100%. I need something that's quantifiable. Need figures for my calculator, not some loose statements. T2, if people can uh, do some research on XRP and get your figures. I don't know what you mean. It's not very quantifiable. A lot of these things. It's the utility that produces things. We don't know when they're going to acquire more companies. We don't know, but we've got the long term view of these companies, um, and how their assets is a big use to them. Um, Quantifiable things. What do you want to know? I mean, you can look at the market cap. You can look at Swift's market cap. You can look at how much Swift transaction and say XRP is a much better technology. And if it gets 1%, 2%, 5% of the Swift network, what that means for XRP's price. You can look at inflows into ETFs. You can do some more research for sure. Even ODL won't cut it when you look at historical global. T2, I think you just need to do some more research. Maybe I'll do a special just on XRP on the newsletter so you can have an understanding of it. Is there a link for Martyn's show for this morning? Yes, JJ, it's just come right now. You can see it now. It's pinned up at the top. I'm not confident in the global markets as a whole. Thank you, Sensei. Big things coming for XRP. It's not a new statement. It's research. Just got to look. Yes, exactly. Here is the link. Oh, if I could talk hours about it. We've got Martyn's link ready to go. 24 hours to go. What's that about? Let's have a look. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. We're live same time every day. You always get the newsletter before. If you haven't got the newsletter yet, do take a second to sign up. I'll be sending you across to Martyn, who's ready to go right now. Let's make sure. Yeah. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in. That doesn't make sense to you too long. Just do some research into fundamentals and you'll see what we mean exactly. Just do some research. I don't have 2 hours to talk about the greatness of XRP. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll be back same time tomorrow. You've got the link for the show. Look at the time now. 1 hour before this is when we start the show. Always tune in with us while we get ready for the morning. The link for the next show is there. The link for the newsletter's there. I'll see you on Martyn's show. Until next time. Let's see if we get all-time highs on Bitcoin today. That would be great. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.